views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Whether she's walking the red carpet or doing interviews, you'll find her with celebrities and all the latest news. She's here, she's there, she's everywhere, she's always on the go. So sit back, relax, and get ready, 'cause it's the Corey Taylor Talks Show.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Corey Taylor Talks live from Las Vegas. I am joined with Mr. Bizzaro. So hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm very good. I'm excited to have you on. I think you're awesome.
I say it again, I don't hear it very often. It's nice.
I think you're awesome. You're a magnificent magician, which I think is so cool. I think magicians are just amazing.
Damaged? Oh yes, amazing. That's the word. I'm so fascinated by it, and I just think it's awesome. So why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself and how you actually kind of got started? Well, I'm a magician, which we've already covered.
Ta-da!
Yes. I've been out in Vegas for about 12 years now. I originally moved here from Texas, and if you've seen me perform, you know that I do things a little differently. For those of you watching, if you don't know who I am, I don't do the typical like doves and playing cards kind of magic. I'm more like bags of Doritos attack me and bite my face off, and I shoot fire out of my zipper. That's the kind of magic I do. But I started when, like a lot of people did back, like when they're very young, like around 6. That's not true. There were some guys who started very late who became like very well known, but I'm one of the ones who started very young, like 5 or 6. And then just kept doing it. And at like 13, I'm like, let's do this for a living and make money. And that didn't happen for a very long time. And then it's all I've ever done. It's all I've ever known.
That's
is
amazing.
The entertainment business. So but it's fun, and I moved out to Vegas because they take stage performing a little more seriously than parts of Texas. The South is not terribly progressive in Texas. Don't know if you've heard that.
No.
But I came out here, and it's been good. I'm still here, so and I love the weather. There's no humidity.
That's true.
Yeah, it's great.
No, but I think it's so cool. And so you've been doing it for years now, and I think Vegas is a great way. I know magic here is a very big deal.
Oh, yeah.
And especially now with COVID, it's so difficult for all the entertainers. But that's awesome that you do have a steady gig at Alexis Park.
Oh yeah, that just started up recently. Actually, we've been doing that for about a month now. I got tapped for this I don't want to call it a magic show. It's like a magic variety show because we have other stuff happening in the show.
Gotcha.
But it is also the only late night adult magic show that is in Vegas, or Vegas has had for a while. Like Vegas has had magic shows, but we haven't had one as long as I've been here late at night in a while.
Right.
And it's nice to be part of something where you can say and do things you couldn't normally do in a 4:00 show.
Right. Right. No, I gotcha.
Have you seen the show? Did you come and see it?
I haven't seen it yet, but I will be there.
We will remedy that. We'll rectify that. You'll get to see some silly things.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. But I've seen your videos and everything, and you're very talented. And I see that we actually have a couple things here too today. If hopefully maybe we can.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
So are you eyeballing my bag of tricks, young lady?
I sure am.
You covet my sack. All right. I did bring some stuff to show because it'd be weird if I didn't. That table just shifted. Cool. All right.
It's not the sturdiest.
Yeah, it floated downwards. So that was neat. Do you want some?
Sure.
Want to hit this? No?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Here's something fun for you people to try at home. Take some of this, you pour it into your hand like this, and you squeeze really tight. It turns back into a horse.
How weird. I've never seen
It's cannibal. No. It's that's the kind of magic I do.
I love it.
It's weird stuff. It's and I do two different types of magic. I do a talking comedy act where like stuff like that, and then the silent act is what I do in the show that I'm currently doing, which is performing to music without speaking with a microphone. Like I'll yell stuff every so often,
Gotcha.
but it's not like like what we're doing here. There's no like script. It's just me kind of going at the audience, which is fun. But yeah, that's one of the things I do for. That's what you're going to see a lot of here is just me talking and stuff. So I apologize.
No, I love it.
Cookies.
Sure. I don't know anymore.
I brought all sorts of
I don't
stuff.
want to really eat a horse. So
Apparently, you don't eat a cookie either. I don't know what's wrong with you. Now, you know how to eat an Oreo, right?
yeah. Well, there's all different debates on how to eat it.
Different debates. Fair enough. I believe that was in the presidential debate. It was like, this is how you eat an Oreo.
That's
no,
right.
I'm kidding. So if you twist the top off, right, and you look the, oh God, sorry, COVID. Just put that away. But if you put the halves together like this, you then throw these away because the middle is the best part, right?
Right.
Right, of course. But being a magician, I can make this more interesting. Watch.
Oh, wow.
Yep, I only got to buy one package this way.
That's
it works
great.
much better, right? Yeah. And let me whoop. Where'd the package go? Come here, you. Come back. There it is. Come here. If I can take another one out, watch this. We'll do it this way.
A double stuff.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. It's great, right?
There you go.
That's weird. So here's something interesting. I read this on the internet, which means it's true.
Right.
Is that when they fed Oreos to rats, they were more addicted to the cream in an Oreo than they were when they fed them cocaine. And I read that, and I went, I don't buy that at all. It totally sounds like not real.
Right.
What were we talking about?
I don't remember.
Now, let me ask a question to you. Are you from Vegas originally?
I was born and raised.
Oh, you're one of the unicorns.
I am.
Wow, you're
I
like one of the
sure
12. Neat.
That's right.
So you grew up seeing magic shows and
Right,
stuff here.
absolutely.
Right. So it's weird because in Vegas you can be very spoiled, and in towns where entertainment's a thing, I find that most people go their entire life only seeing like one magician live ever.
Right.
But you live here and you're like, I've seen 20 and I'm sick of it. It's crazy.
It's my brother-in-law. He was born and raised here, and we actually took him to his first magic show when he was 30.
Nice. Wow, 30.
I was like, oh my
30.
goodness. I know.
Man.
He was born and raised here.
That's crazy.
It's so strange, but I know I've been going since I was a baby.
Right. Yeah, no, I always tell people, it's like, if I'm your first magician you're seeing in your life, I'm sorry.
No, you're amazing.
No,
and
I'm
I
kidding,
have
I'm
seen
kidding.
lots of magicians,
Oh, yeah?
and you're
Who do
incredible.
you like in town? Who do you like to go see?
Oh, there's so many. I love Dan Sperry. I
Oh, of
think
course,
he's
yeah.
amazing.
Dan's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a really good guy.
Have you had him on here?
Yes, we
I was
have.
going to say, yeah. Yeah, he's fun.
Yeah, God, there's so many. Honestly, there's
Oh,
so
yeah.
many. Lance Burton, all of them.
Lanson's retired. He moved back to Kentucky.
I know.
He's
We
like,
had him
"I'm
on
out."
a few years ago.
Yeah.
But he was great, and
Yeah.
I know.
Most of the professional guys here in town are all super great, and
Yeah.
the magic scene here, it's interesting. Like a lot of people discover the magic scene in Vegas is all pretty welcoming. Everybody's pretty chill here, as opposed to there are other cities on the West Coast. Further west than us, that may not be as welcoming to other people, but
Gotcha.
Vegas has always been pretty chill from everybody I've talked to and what I've seen just from being here. So it's really nice
That's good.
and we're mostly self-correcting. Most of the jerks just get pushed out.
That's good though.
When somebody calls us up and is like, "Hey," or somebody says, "I'm coming to Vegas. Who should we see?" Everybody's like, "Matt King. Go see him. He's
I
top
love
of the list."
him too.
Oh, man.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a good guy. So, but yeah, no, it's magic's a very interesting beast, and the entertainment business in general is a very strange way to make a living.
Yeah.
And as you said, for COVID right now, it's been kind of hard for
It's
people.
got to be hard. Yeah.
Thankfully, I have side hustles, like I do prop building and consulting, and I also make escape rooms on the side for people.
Oh, wow.
I
That's
know.
awesome.
Yeah, well, it kind of goes with the prop building thing, but yeah, so we actually have
That's true.
we have like 5 escape rooms we've built in Reno, actually, for
Wow.
a company called Key and Code.
Wow.
Yeah, and but I do that on the side, and it's thankfully I've had that extra kind of cushion to help me make stuff,
Yeah.
because most of the stuff you'll see in my magic stuff, I kind of create my own magic and stuff, and which is great. It's nice to have something that
Absolutely.
other people don't have, which is one of the reasons I kind of moved out here, because at one point I remember I was like, I wanted to do like special effects makeup. or I wanted to do magic, and I was like, which way do I go? And I'm like, I think I'm going to do magic because I think I could stand out more with that.
Right.
But now I'm doing both, kind of.
But that's good, and it keeps you creative and doing different things. And like you said, you got to pay the bills too. Everyone's struggling right now.
Yeah,
so,
some more than others. People call me
Yeah.
up, it's like, how are you doing? And it's like, better than some, not as good as others.
Yeah.
It's really as much as you can do.
Yeah.
And I know some people who had to take real jobs. Oh, I'm so sorry for those of you who had to do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did some TV show work, and I know you do acting and things like that, and then all that slowed down immensely.
Oh, it sure has.
And,
Not
yeah,
a thing.
no.
It's crazy.
No, I was consulting for somebody on America's Got Talent, Brett Loudermilk. If you saw the guy who did he's got the pink hair, sword swallower.
Right.
So I was helping him out, and the hoops you have to jump through now is like they're testing you every other day, which is great, but it's a lot of money on their part.
Right.
They keep you very separated. It's crazy just what has happened to the business side of things
in such a short amount
and people
of time.
don't know.
Too.
They have no idea what's going on behind the scenes.
No.
But we shall return.
Yes. Absolutely. Back bigger than. I hope once this is over, everyone's just gonna want to go to Vegas and party, and everyone will gain all their tourists back and everything immediately. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had to stop some people for sure. Like,
Right.
I remember I had to go to Mandalay Bay to give somebody something a few months ago, and I walked in. I'm like, is this place open?
I know.
Like, it's dead
It's
here. I've never
sad.
seen
I
it.
know.
Like, did you drive down the strip
I sure when
when
everything
it was really
yeah,
closed?
uh-huh.
It was
It's
like, wow,
insane.
zombie apocalypse without the zombies. This is
It
kind of
really
fun.
is. Yeah, it's scary. It's sad, but I think hopefully already you're starting to see it more and more build. But I can't wait till the shows are back.
Well, the smaller
open and
shows,
stuff.
especially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the nice thing. Like Alexis Park has like 8 shows running, including
Wow.
ours, and they're all small, so they can do that. I think the smaller shows are going to thrive for a while.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And I know that the larger shows are talking about opening up May-ish, some
Oh,
of
okay.
them. But I know that I also heard in May, like I think they said that things are going to go statewide, where it's like, hey, you guys can do whatever you want. We're not going to, or something like that. It's like, I think it's local level. I can't remember. I don't follow
Gotcha.
politics. It's all very boring. But yeah, so and as you know, our mayor's nuts. So, I love it when people are like, "Hey, the city of Vegas has a mayor. We didn't know that," and then until they say something weird. I don't know. Sorry, what were we talking about? I apologize. Magic. I'll show you another magic trick. Stop talking about weird stuff like that. Have to do a card trick. If you don't
Okay.
do a card trick, then the magician doesn't get his wings. Thank you for laughing at that. Some people have no idea why that's funny.
It's a little bell.
Right, exactly. Very good. Thank you. All right. Having seen magic shows, you should know what to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Okay. No. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes. All right. I would like you to sign your name onto the card. Oh, hold on. There's something on this one.
Ugh.
Oh God. Sorry. Let me clean that. You know what? Maybe not doing that. That's probably a bad idea. Here, use this one. This one's not been up my nose.
Okay.
Sign your name across the front of it.
Okay.
Very good. Place it back on top. And now I'm going to just slide it here into the center. Magic.
Ta-da.
Just dropped it. All right, so we're going to attempt to find your card, but I'm going to do
Okay.
so using my magic wand. To do that, I must produce it from the magic cloth. Ta-da. This is my magic wand. My magic wand is cooler than all the other magicians' magic wands because it has 4 tiny little magic wands on top.
Gotcha.
If I was to break one of these off, it would no longer be a fork, it would be a threek.
That's.
If I broke another one off, it would be a twerk. Right?
Right.
Okay, and if you know what you call it, you know what happens if you break one more off, you know what it's called?
What?
Useless. All right. I'm going to find your card using the fork. Sorry. All right. I love these stupid jokes. This is my favorite one. Watch this. Actually, I'll let you take the fork. I'll let you wave the wand. Wave the wand at the deck of cards and say the magic words Nissan Maxima.
Nissan Maxima.
That's a Harry Potter spell. It doesn't work. But if this turned into a car, that would have been amazing.
I would have been very happy.
Right. Here we go. I would like you and all of you watching to appreciate how difficult that part of the trick
I'm
is.
sure it is.
and if you pull that out, you'll be king. Which would be, no, I'm kidding. I'm just you'd be queen, but that's a whole other story. All right. Do you remember what your card was? It's a good. No. This is why we have you sign it, because hopefully you know what your name is.
I think so.
You think so?
I don't know.
It's written on the green wall. Hopefully your card was the 8 of clubs.
It sure
right
was.
there,
That's right.
impaled
I was like, it's either 8 of spades or 8 of clubs.
on the end of the fork. That's
There
for
you go.
There you go.
Yay.
And now I have to go to Costco and buy a whole new deck of cards.
Yay. And
souvenir.
there's really a fork hole in it.
That's right, yeah.
It's true. No, that's amazing.
It's an illusion. I'm kidding. You want to learn a magic trick? I'll teach you one.
Sure.
I'll teach you what I just did, even though you just could probably see it, but I'll teach it to you too. Check this. So here, you want to look like you bent a fork like this. You put it in your pinky like this, like a hole like this, and then you hold it like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pretend you're bending it, but it's actually going to, for you guys, it's going to do this. Ooh, you just keep
There
your
you
hand.
go.
Don't do this. That doesn't look as good. You got to keep this hand
So
in the
it's
same
more
position.
exciting.
Look at that. It looks like from
That's cool.
and
It
then
does, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Magic.
Actually, you know what? When
Thank you.
I was a little kid, I forgot all about this until we were
Oh.
talking about it. I was on. They did a series called Magic Tricks Are for Kids, and I was one of the little kids
Nice.
in it. And I learned how to do. I don't remember any of it, but it was fun.
I've forgotten more magic than I know, probably. I mean, I understand. I'm with you. It's yeah, it's weird. There has so this is interesting. Because we just had International Women's Day and stuff like that, and there's always been and I don't know if you know this or not. There's the numbers of male magicians versus female magicians has always been skewed a bit, and there's always a discussion like, why aren't there more females in magic, men and and it's interesting now. And as I've gotten older, the ratio is actually getting much larger and stuff, and it's getting much better just to have that like equality measure out stuff. And a lot of us are like, why don't girls get into magic? And the answer is I don't know. It's I mean, it's like when you saw magic, was that something you were like, ooh, this is neat, like, or it was something you were interested in and you're just like, or was it just something you saw?
I was always fascinated by it. I don't think I want to know how they do it. I think that's my biggest. I don't want to know.
Right, you didn't have that desire to learn. Right.
I want it to be
good.
Like
well,
a
we
mystery.
need people like you, so that's good. Yeah, it's interesting. I think what happens, most young kids get into it or are fascinated by it at some point, and then they discover like sports, karate, boys, girls, whatever, and then they're like, nah. And then the damaged few of us stick with it for a living. And
no, I think it's amazing. I always love magic, and I've been a fan for years, and I grew up watching Chris Angel's Mind Freak and stuff when I was a kid, so it was, it's awesome. I love it.
Oh yeah, Chris Angel's been around for quite some time. He used to have a show in New York in a little venue. He used to do a lot of imagine the show he's doing now, but in a room this size. It's crazy. It's always fascinating how people like it's the joke where it's like the overnight success that took 20 years kind of stuff.
Absolutely, it's so true. Yeah,
and he worked very hard to get where he is. And I mean, most people who get to that level, like Copperfield and things like that, they did a lot of hustling, a lot of legwork, and that's for those of you watching at home. That's what it's all about. Just do the legwork, and there's plenty of work to be had for lots of things actually. So again, acting, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, like you say, even prop building. I'm sure that looks amazing too, because you got to invent a whole different trick basically. And well, and it depends. Like sometimes somebody will come at you and be like, I want to do this, but they have no method, so you have to like R&D, and you have to know. And a lot of times, like I do a whole lecture. Like I've toured all over the world lecturing about and teaching magic to people stuff, and in there I talk a lot about creativity, and one of the things I talk about is just learning about the world around you and how the world works, because there's a lot of times magicians tend to kind of create inside of a little magic box, and they're just like, this is all I know and this is what magic is. I'm like, no, there's bigger, better boxes like Home Depot and things like that. It's like has cool stuff, and it's the more you know, the more you can draw from and just be like, oh, I have a couple tricks where I'm walking through a hardware store, and I looked at something and went, you know what that looks like? Hey, that gives me an idea. So it's interesting
to create magic, but it also, to do so, I think you need a broad understanding of what's out there,
Right.
and stuff like that. And it's like, I go into pet stores. I don't own a pet. I go into sporting goods stores. I clearly do not belong in a sporting goods store, but it's interesting to see the weird niche stuff that like. I was in Bass Pro recently and found this cool thing that it's only for fishing, and I went, I'm buying this, taking it home, see what it can do. Let's open it up and see what it does. When we moved into a house, it was great because I had a garage and I stopped destroying the kitchen countertops. But it's like it's being a builder is kind of like being a liquid. You will fill the space that you're put into. It's like you don't realize you need all these tools until you get a space big enough to put all these tools, and you're like, where did all this stuff come from? That you don't want to move ever.
I gotcha, but it's so cool, and I think there's so much work into that people don't really realize. And the struggles too, they're so there's not a lot of magicians, but at the same time there is a lot of them. And
well, there's a lot of what I would call amateurs, semi-pros, hobbyists. Like that's 90% of magic, and then there's the professional guys, the guys who make a living at it and who basically make their own stuff, and then there's the guys who this is not meant to be derogatory, like who are cover bands who just buy stuff and do other people's things. So but there's room for everybody, really. So
absolutely,
it's like it's like there's stage actors, there's screen actors, I have friends who do voiceovers, and like my friend Misty Lee, who's also a magician, she does magic but also does voiceovers for cartoons and video games, but some people specialize in commercials or stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So there's a market. If the internet has taught us anything, there's a market for everything.
That's true. That's true.
To keep your safe search on, kids.
Yeah. No, but I think it's so cool in that you are doing this, and especially now you still have a show, which is a great thing to have right now.
Oh yeah, no, and it's my favorite thing. I've always said, just give me 10, 15, 20 minutes in a variety show and I'm happy. Like I didn't move here to have my own show. I just wanted to work. And it's nice to just be in a show. Also, I mean, having your own show is great, but being in a cast of people, especially people you know and you're friends with, is also a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get the chance, have every single person who's in the show on here. Get Lefty, John Shaw, Anna Rose, get them all in here.
Yeah.
And it'll be a good time.
And what type of magic do you like most? I know do you like more like up close magic or?
No, I mean, I've always been a stage guy.
Gotcha.
Ever since I was a kid, like the magic kit I had, and I think there were a couple reasons for it. One, the magic kit I had encouraged stand-up performance. Like it was this weird Fisher Price magic kit they made in like the mid 80s. Yes, I'm old. And it encouraged you to stand up and perform. It wasn't like, here's some close-up tricks to show one or two people. It was show a bunch of people. And then magic on television in the 90s was all very stage-based. We had this thing called World's Greatest Magic that used to come on every year around Thanksgiving, and it happened for 5 years, and it showed all of these amazing stage guys. Some of them live here and still perform, and but also even the close-up stuff seemed like a big stage production, which was great. So watching that, you grow up and go, that's what magic is. And so I always liked the just outward performing thing. But as a magician, you can learn close-up stuff, like as you've seen here. But some of this stuff, like the card trick with the fork, I do it in a stand-up show. So it's like you can do it close-up, you can do it stand-up.
That's true. Yeah.
And then the bigger venues that you play, the bigger stuff you have to use until eventually you become a furniture mover and you have illusions. You have giant boxes you're pushing around on stage. Which is not something I want to do. I tried my hand at that. I'm like, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
We also did Magic Castle too.
Oh, the Magic Castle, yeah.
Yes. How was that?
Oh, it was great. I've been there like about 5 or 6 times, actually.
Wow.
And have you been there?
No, I've driven by it a million times. I wanted to.
Well, I know people who can get you in if you
I would love to.
Yeah, next time you're in LA and things are open, let me know and I'll reach out to some people.
I would love to. Yeah.
Yeah, Magic Castle's great. It's much like every other. It's like a magician's act. It's cobbled together from all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Like the history of the building is very interesting because there's a ton of things that have been rescued or added on from other places. Like I think one of the bars is from a bar in Ireland or something. It's weird.
Oh,
There's like 5 bars in the place, and it's like a TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside. It's very interesting. But yeah, and you go in and just the history in the building is especially if you research it, it's like, wow, this is crazy. Like some of the stuff that's happened in there and the things that they've done to it and all these things. But also the amount of magicians and stars and people who've come through that building is very impressive. And it's a good place to see. Like So the first time I worked it, I remember thinking, oh man, it's LA, it's gonna be rough. These people, man, but everybody was super into it, and I realized, oh, okay, I get it. My bad. People are there to see magic. Like they're already the battle is over. Like they're already in the mood. Like it's not like table magic. You walk up to somebody, or actually, my friend Dwayne, he calls it dinner hostage theater, right? And but I don't like that. I don't like to bug people. I want them to just be like, I want them to make the decision to come see me, or see the show.
Right.
And so that's great. So you're there, and they're just like, if they don't see magic, they're mad. Like before they leave, they're like, I didn't see any magic, and I've heard that there, which I'm like, that's not good. Here, let me show you something. But yeah, Magic Castle's great. They usually put us in. There's a room downstairs called the Peller Theater. It's it's considered kind of the experimental room, which is where they hide us. Because I do a show with another magician named the Shocker. He's like this wrestling magician character, and he's been on Fool Us and Master's Illusion and stuff like that. Gotcha. And him and I do a show together, and we usually get booked around Halloween because we're a little weird.
That's good though.
Yeah. But what's nice about that room is they put you down there and leave you alone and let you kind of do what you want, which is nice. Yeah. So you should go check it out, and you should go check it out if you haven't been. Now it is a private club. For those of you who don't know what the Magic Castle is, it's been around since the '60s, and it is a private club. You have to know somebody or be a member to get in. So just so you know.
Well, now I know somebody.
That's right. That's right.
No, I think it's so cool, and like I said, there's so many. Do you have like a favorite magician or one that really inspired you?
Yeah, I mean, I always tell people, I have a list. There's like a list of 4 watching growing up that I'm like, that's what magic is. This is what I like, and it was Amazing Jonathan, it was Penn and Teller, and a guy named Rudy Kobe and Sylvester the Jester. These 4 guys, and what I got from watching them was, it's like they're using magic as a tool, not the focus. It's like they're using it as a vehicle for entertainment. It's not just like, look at me, I'm amazing, and that's all it was. And so that's the kind of stuff where I went, yes, this makes sense to me. This is what I think magic should be. So yeah, those guys. I know, obviously 2 of those guys are here in town, and one of them was here until recently. He moved back to LA, but yeah, no, those guys all were still are very creative, crazy people.
No, I got you. So, but there's so many different types. So I like it too. It's more interesting. Like it's not your average everyday. Right. But it's different. And that's cool.
Well, it's like people, and I tell new performers this all the time because again, as a consultant, I end up sometimes helping people with their acts or whatever, and I say, it's like, listen, it's like the tricks are fine, but if they like you for who you are, they'll come watch you read a book. It doesn't matter. It's like, just be likable on stage, or be interesting. Just just make it where they want to come see you again. Even if it's like, maybe you're so crazy, they're just going to be like, what's he going to do next? Just something that makes them want to come see you, because they can watch any idiot do card tricks.
No, I think that's cool, and even the little tricks you did now, they were awesome. And I don't want to know how things are done, but at the same time, you do want to know. Right.
Well, I'm not telling you.
I don't blame you. It's okay. I don't need to know.
I taught you the knife thing. That's all you get.
The knife thing was cool.
Right? You do it at dinner, and you'll just be like, look, I'm a magician. And they'll be like, stop it. Eat your food.
I'll do it at the Magic Hat. Really impressed.
Right? Yeah, they'll love it. Yeah. I'll throw the waiters completely off. They'll be like,
They'll be like, what? Yeah. I fooled you. Penn and Teller will be like, how'd they do it? But
it's funny.
But no, I think it's really cool. And where can people follow you and go and see you and just keep up with everything you're doing?
Once I leave the building, you can follow me to my car.
Okay.
No, so my main website is Bizzaro.ninja, because Bizzaro.com was taken. So I'm like, you know what? No, you don't need a .com. .ninja's funnier. So we're doing
cool.
2 Z's, 1 R. People misspell it all the time, but it's Bizzaro, because when I was 13, I didn't know any better. And I was like, we'll spell it this way. And then turns out that was not the right way to spell it. But you know what? I'm like, no, I like ZZ Top. We're going to keep it with 2 Z's. So Bizzaro.ninja is my website. For prop building, I have Bizzaro by Design is my prop building website. And if for some reason if you have an escape room need, you can go to testsubjects.com, because which is 3 of us. It's the 3 magicians, 3 of us who started the business together. So it's so for some reason that's a thing. And if you just search Bizzaro Magic, I've got stuff spread out all over the internet.
Yeah, and I actually didn't think about it, but the magicians are probably the best people to do escape rooms, because that's really interesting.
Well, and what I like about it, the reason I got into it is I played the first one here in Vegas, like 6 years ago now.
Yeah.
I don't know when it was. It was
Yeah.
when they first kind of opened up in
Yeah.
America. And I played it and went, this is great. Let's get in on this. This is amazing because it's all the nerdy stuff that we like. It's video games, it's puzzles, it's magic, it's a theater, you know, and a lot of people who've never been to an escape room, you know, they're like, oh, is it scary? I'm like, well, some of them are, but I mean, it's not generally, but it's, and I always explain to people, it's like if you play video games, it's easier to explain. It's like an escape room is like a live video game. That's period. And if you don't play video games, then you're just like, it's you solve puzzles to accomplish a goal in a theatrical setting. But what I like about it is it's creating magic without the expectation, because so you say, oh, a magician, people are, there's already kind of that like, all right, fool me, magic boy, that kind of thing. But when you go into an escape room and you take a I put this pen here, that door opens up. I don't know how electricity works. That's magic, you know? So it's really interesting to just make that and watch people, because you have cameras and you watch people play these rooms, which is a little sad sometimes.
I think that, oh my God, that's like my dream, to just watch people do it. I would literally love that.
It is frustrating, hilarious, and amazing.
I would love it.
It is. You watch people and you're just yelling at the screen. They can't hear you, but you're yelling and go, how do you not know how this works? Read the piece of paper. But again, it's watching people go, wow, and they have but it's magic to them.
Right.
There's a famous quote, you may have heard it before. It's called, I'm going to paraphrase it because it's like any sufficiently unknown technology is indistinguishable from magic, essentially, something like that.
Right.
I've butchered it and somebody's going to get mad at me for it. Some magicians will be like, but it's true. It's like any new emerging technology that people are not familiar with, or even old technology people are not familiar with, is magic.
Yeah.
So it's you put some crazy RFID stuff into an escape room and all of a sudden you're a magician. So
Right. No, that's true.
We did build a magic themed escape room because we're stereotypes.
That's cool.
But
Where's that at?
That's in Reno.
Okay.
We had 3. We had 5 in Reno. We had 3 in Utah. That one shut down because, you know.
Right.
But the one in one of the room in the magic room, in one of the puzzles is you stick your hip. There's like a guillotine, you know, and you have to put your arm in there, and there's a button you have to push, and when you push it, the blade falls, but it doesn't cut your arm off. It penetrates magically through your wrist.
Right.
Scares the heck out of people because, you know, I also like haunted houses. So,
Right.
So you like to keep people on edge a little bit, you know.
Right.
But yeah, it's creating magic in a theatrical situation like that. It really appealed to me, so that's why I kind of gravitated towards it.
No, I think that's great.
But have you done escape rooms?
Oh, I do some. Actually, one of my movies was themed as an escape room.
Oh, nice.
Now it's closed since, but you know, it was really cool. So we got to see everything. But I was like, I know they're watching me and going, "What a moron!" But that's why I
well, not if you're doing well. If you're doing well, they're not doing that. They're like, "Wow, this person's
hardly ever do well.
Well, that's unfortunate. No, I, for those of you watching, if you've never done one, I always tell people do at least 3 because the quality varies so
very much,
severely. So it's like you might do one and go, "This was terrible." Yeah. Don't judge all of them off of one. At least 3. You know, do at least 3 and be like, "Oh, okay." I was working. There's one in Baton Rouge called 13th Gate, which is like one of the top haunts in America. But they have one of the top escape room places, and it is amazing.
Really?
The stuff they do there is awesome. And so if you're ever down in Baton Rouge, go check them out.
Yeah, no, I just think it's awesome, but I think it's cool that you're doing so many different things, and your show, which I'm so excited to go see, and just everything. So, well, thank you so much for being on. It was awesome.
Thanks for having me.
You. And I hope everyone goes. If you're in Vegas, obviously go and check out Alexis Park.
Late Night Magic.
Yes.
10:30 p.m. At Friday and Saturday.
There you go.
Yeah.
And go check him out. Support him, and if you need any tricks, he's the guy to go to. So.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, never give up, always believe, and you'll achieve.
Meet the Masters of Illusion.
Are you guys having fun so far? Well, we're going to make it even more dangerous tonight. I am the Shocker. This is Bizzaro. And we'd like to talk to you about something very important to each and every one of you. Rubik's Cubes. Now, the Rubik's Cube has experienced a resurgence of late. You can find tons of viral videos of people solving these things very fast or in interesting ways. So Bizzaro and I decided we needed to do it our way. So we're gonna use this rusty, dangerous tool. Now, I need someone familiar with sharp objects. Maybe a barber, maybe a chef. This young lady right here, come on up. This is awesome. Stand right over here. Check this out. Make sure that is nice and solid. Bang on it. Yep, go ahead. Yeah, don't touch. Yeah, there you go. It's sharp, so don't hurt yourself. Perfect. Now I want you to take this right here. Give it a scramble. Mix it up. Tell it it was adopted. While you do that, we are going to show you how this works using the world's worst Halloween haul. You kids know exactly what I'm talking about, too. There's that one neighbor who gives you this every year. We're gonna place it right in here, and before you can say just the tip, Mazel tov. You take that souvenir, I'm gonna take the cube. Now, anybody who spends enough time on the internet could probably learn how to solve the cube, even with this added amount of pressure. But could they do it in less than a minute? Ooh. That's what we're gonna try to do. Give Bizzaro the blade back. He is gonna place his hand in the device. Yes. This timer is gonna count down. And when it hits 0, you're gonna hear this noise. If you hear that noise, that is your cue to take your hand and slam it down on that device. Now, if you look on the internet, you could probably find some 12-year-old kids who could still solve the Rubik's Cube in under a minute with the added pressure, but could they do it completely blindfolded? This should be fun. We didn't actually rehearse it this way. So Bizzaro has got 1 minute to solve that cube. Go! Now, what he's doing right now is he's using a complex series of mathematical equations and algorithms to get that cube right in the proper placement so he can solve it within the time limit. Oh, I've seen him get to this point before. Right now, he's within 6 moves of two moves of solving 4 moves of solving that cube. Count it down with me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Run. Folks, that was a valiant attempt. Everybody give him a hand. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, you have witnessed Bizzaro has solved the cube! Thank you! And good night!